learn about how to register members, how to validate, how to activate, how to accept a member. So the membership process in Jethro app is 4. We have what? First timers or new members. You register them. Then, when they come to church, when a new member comes to church, like today, new members have come, they say those who have come the first time. Normally, the stewards should be available to take them, because sometimes they just come to church themselves. So you have to go and meet them and take them into your family, so that you can take their contact and then register them into your family. So how do you connect? We say we type, you can type www like dot wcg.jethroapp.com. Normally that is how it's supposed to be. It should be wcg.jethroapp.com. Do you understand? Because jethroapp.com is general. But if you type wcg.jethroapp.com, it will take you directly to the place. You see, it goes to WCG Jethro app. I get it. But when you talk Jethro app, I give you an interface that you don't even need it. I get it. The interface of the app, you don't need that interface, because that one is specially for Winners Chapel Ghana, right? But this one is it's an interface of an app of Winners. So if you use WCG Jethro, it takes you to the interface that you can enter your username and password. Now here, I'm operating as a steward today, right now, because my steward is absent today. I'm a shepherd, but a steward of the family I belong to, she's absent. So I'm going to connect to this thing and then do what it's supposed to do. So my user, I'm entering the user. So I've connected. You can see her name on top there, Josephine J, right? So that is how you connect. So as stewards, you connect, you just type wcg.jethroapp.com. Are you getting me? We are teaching on Jethro app, but we are using Winners Chapel Ghana database. I get their cloud database. Here we are on their live database. Are you getting me? The other one I give you, churcherp.jethroapp.com, is not Winners Chapel. It's generic for other churches or other people who want to use Jethro app. But that is where we start from. That's where we do the setup to see whether it's okay before we bring it to a particular church, which is Winners Chapel in this case. Now, if you want to do it for anybody, you have to use the generic one and configure it there. If it's code is okay now, you can copy it. It's like a test database, so you can copy it and send it to their own cloud. If not, you will send it to Winners Chapel, because this one is for Winners Chapel. But they also have maybe pentacles.jethroapp.com. I can say wcg.jethroapp.com. We can have pentacles.jethroapp.com. It depends on how it's like that. So now let's type a member. To type a member, I can click Church ERP here. So when I click Church ERP, it displays registration, acceptance, and stewards report. But in normal sense, the full software is registration, validation, activation before acceptance, before steward report. But because stewards cannot see those things, it is hidden here. I get it. It's not his job. I get it. It's not for so if you just put it there, they can decide to click. Do you understand? Yes. They can decide to click to see what is there. So the system is a very big system, but they cut it small for everyone. What you will do only, that's what you will see. Are you getting me? So now let's register one member. So like this, the city I connected to is there. It's showing what? Glory City and then Maranatha. So now I want to enter one member. Let me put James, okay, James Roger Ado. Let me just put any phone. You just come to church today, right? Now I couldn't take any other information from. I just take the number and the phone. You see, when the person comes to check the first time, you say, where do you stay? Your date of birth, your age, my friend, your email. Sometimes they will be, say, why you want all this information? I just come to your church today. You want to collect all this. So they are skeptical. See? So the first thing is that once you are able to get this thing, you can type. When you start coming to church, that is when you say, oh, we have a database here, and we want to complete your information. Are you getting it? Okay, so it's a single and there is a member. If it's a married, you know, sometimes too, when you ask them, are you married? It's another big question. Oh? Are you getting me? Assuming that you are a young boy, not married, a steward, and a young girl, and you ask, are you married? It means something different. Or, it's like you want to propose, or to find out. Yes. The only thing that the person will think is like, I come to the church first day, and it's only you want to. I don't see that in that church. You understand it? So the only thing you can say is that get this one and stop. So that next time, whether it's single or not, you will find out. But there are some people that sometimes the person is an elderly person but not married. Are you getting it? And you say, are you married? It's also mean another thing. No, first timer. First. You just come first time to your church. So you can't ask. You can ask, it will also mean something different. So for that, that is why the system is open. Just get the name and the phone. And then we click create. Finish. It has been created. When it created like this, what happens is that it brings this interface for you as if you validate. Are you getting it? It's a validate interface that belongs to the shepherd. Are you getting it? But you are not to click validate. You have validate, you have delete. Some people tell me, oh, I have entered something wrongly. How can I delete? The thing is already bring delete for you. Why not delete it? Are you getting it? You made a mistake, and the thing say validate or delete. Delete it and do it again. Are you getting me? You just delete and then do it again. You make a wrong mistake, so you do that. When I was trying to show but here first, we have delete. There's no edit. Are you getting me? You can go to edit to make changes. Are you getting it? It's on top there. But if you want to delete, if you have not typed plenty information, it's better you delete it. Like two things, name and phone. Just delete and type your things. Yes. So that is all we are asking Steward to do. Is it difficult? Do you understand the thing? That's all. All the thing you do is what? You click registration. First of all, you click check ERP so that you can see the registration. So when you click registration, you type what? A name. Let me put a name. Another name. You see, this is somebody. It's one of my old students. You see? So, Dana, again. You understand me? And I click what? Create. That's all. Is this thing difficult? Why are they not doing it? Because I can't understand. But when you do this one, if you go, let's say, if you go and you see this thing in your place, and you have something and then you say delete, delete, delete. Now, some of you they are already validated member as a multiple in your place. that deletion is not easy for you unless you use SQL to delete. Are you getting it? Once it's going to activate, it's no more, nobody can do it except administrator. Do you understand? Except you. Are you getting it? Use delete to do. Because it has gone to a server and finished. Only administrators can delete it. None of them have power to delete at that point. Except they use the SQL code. So this is what is about if you are doing this. So I think the stream is going on well. It's online. Anybody have a phone that you can also watch what you are doing now. Do you understand? So that later you can also you can go there and learn the process. I'm using my list. Okay, now let's move to. I'm going to connect to Shepherd. I'm a Shepherd. Now, let's say my steward Josephine has registered member. Is it okay? And she called and said, I've registered new members. Please validate it for me. So let's see how to validate members. So I'm going to, you can log in directly after when you are already open. But when you come directly, you put check.jethroapp.com or wcg.jethroapp.com. What I'm doing here, you can do there because all the modules are also there. You can go there and type members. You have created so many things, create steward, right? Use your steward password to do this one. You know, we do the implementation. So the steward's password and username, you use it to enter some members. And use the Shepherd password and enter and validate what I'm going to do now. Then use the zonal pastor password to activate. Okay, now let me I'm going to it will still be here. You see, it still was type and wait until it's validated. If it's not validated, you will do nothing. So let me connect SHP 5001 50 and then we have my use. So I'm connected. You can see my name there. So I'm connected because I'm the Shepherd. Now you click entry validation. You see, we have two types of validation here. We have entry validation and report validation. The Shepherd will do two jobs. He validates new members, or he can also validate report. That's all the job. You see, Shepherd is doing how many work? Two. You can only, when a new member, first timer is registered, you do what? You validate. And your job is finished there. If there is a report that they type, you also validate. So if I click entry validation like this, I see the member that I've created. Adina Benu is there, Roger is there, then another one. So I just go, we have validate there. Don't you see validate there? So I click validate. And I do nothing here. You see, I only click approve. Because do you want to join WCG? Yes. Have you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Yes. Is he or she in foundation school? Yes. If this thing is not, don't validate. That means don't approve because the person came to church, they've entered him, but he told that I'm not ready to join the church. Of course, I have somebody like that in my Maranatha family. He used to come. He's a new member. He used to come most of the time. I always ask, do you want to join? I say, not yet. I've asked many times. He said, not yet. So he's not. You see, he's not. Now, he's a friend. He had a friend in the family that he came to church with a friend. And so he came to church, but he said he's not going to join. So he's not our member. I will validate. Even if the chef stewards enter, I won't validate. Yeah, he's a visitor. Are you getting me? That is why we have visited database also there that you can type so that you can call her. Hey, you visit us, but you did not come in. Are you getting me? So we move to that now. So you see, I say approve. So he agreed to join, and at the same time, he's a Christian. If you have not given his life to Christ, you pray for him that moment and lead him to Christ on the spot. You take him to membership class, and he's there. Because he's there now, you do what? You approve. You see the job? This is the job of the shepherd. It's not just like what we think, and we think the shepherd say, validate for somebody. When you call me, validate for me. Sometimes I mean validate doesn't mean that I don't like you. Are you getting me? Because there are certain things I want to check before I validate. Okay, so I click approve. You have another one there. I click again. All the things is correct. So approve. Okay, then another one. The moment you do it, it disappears. But even at this point, you can see delete is there. Huh? I've finished it. Yeah, ask the question.
Before you click on that, remember, has he finished the foundation school? Or?
No, he's in foundation school. That's it, is he in foundation school? You see, he has just joined foundation school, but he has not yet finished. When we come to activate, the pastor will go and check whether he has finished.
As you said, everybody is in that and the person doesn't want to become a member of it. How about the person which is the foundation school and he decides to go?
Oh, you see, the moment you finish foundation school, they will activate you. Are you getting me? And you become a member. But the last point is accept into your family, into the family. Are you getting me? So you're still not ready. Are you getting me? You are now an activated member of Winners, but you are not yet certified member of Winners. Because acceptance into a family, that we want that, oh, the family say, oh, welcome to Maranatha family. Are you getting me? We accept you into this family, you are now a member. I get it. So in normal circumstances, there should be a ceremony. Something like you buy some drink and then make it happy on that day that we have a new member. Oh, but it happens when we have a new member into family. When the baby comes, don't you celebrate? And why you have this baby, you don't want to celebrate? Are you getting me? You can celebrate. You can get some drink. You know, you follow up and know that he's getting to finish next week. He will be activated. So we buy something and we buy some meat pie. And then we eat on that day, bread breaking. And the man will be happy that he has joined a family. That's the acceptance. And then, if you accept, then automatically a certificate of membership is generated by the system for that person. And that is why I say it's not a certified member, because the certificate of membership is making a certified member of Winners Chapel Ghana. Can you see that? Can you see that? So that, now we have what? We have just validated a member. So now we are going to activate the members. That we assume that they have completed foundation school. Now the validation, is it difficult? Is it difficult? Is it difficult? No. Good. So I don't think that there's any shepherd having problem just to validate. Now let's go to. First of all, you are what? You just stay here. I want to connect to the pastor. I use the pastor username. You are administrator. So I don't know. It is zone 5, and I don't know his username. Because I'm administrator. So we have supervisor. The pastor are called supervisor. So I check here and I check all the pastors. You see here, they put username is zone 5. Pastor John, username is AV0015. Actually, that username is actually the password. And you just to use people. Huh? The username of all the password is admin. Huh? Are you getting it? But I'm just telling you so that you people keep in your mind. Eh? So that if you want to connect to your pastor's information and work, use what they call username as password and type admin. Do you understand? It's just to people who think that username and type it don't connect. Are you getting it? Yes. So that is why. So let me take is AV0015. So but I'm going to make a change of this. Do you understand? And later I will tell you. I will write another query and show something else there. Eh? I will take the username out. Is it okay? Are you getting it? I'm going to take it out. I'm going to correct it and take it out. So you won't find any username password again. So you use your SQL to get it. The reason why I'm saying this is because it's live. Do you understand me? Do you get me? Yes, so I have to hide it in the next few minutes. You won't find it. Okay, so we have and we have so I've connected. So you see, the pastors have a lot of menus. They are like administrators. You see that? You have a lot of things here. So you click activation. As a pastor, you click activation. Is it okay? Activation. So when you click activation, can you see the people are activated that they have come? They have come. Join WCG, yes. Accept this, yes. Membership class, yes. So the pastor has seen that, okay, this thing has been done. That is why you have activated, you have validated. So now the pastor will, you see, has completed FS, that is Foundation School or Membership Class. Yes. So you now click activate. But even if at this point the person stopped, you delete. You see? You see, delete is there. Like he has gone to membership class for maybe 4 or 5 weeks, you have 8 weeks, and he says he's not going to join us again. Huh? There's no need. Do you understand? You delete.
Yes. Where the person has joined the class?
Huh?
And for the 8 weeks,
And stop.
has some problem.
Oh yeah. If he has some problem and then stop, it's still not our member.
Yeah, but we need to hold on for a while, but we cannot.
Yeah, we won't delete on the spot. This thing can stay here for 1 year. Nothing happened to the data. It's a consistent, permanent data. It can be there. It's not everyone, because all the members, but at this point, the system calculates as a member. We have activated members and non-activated members. He's still a member of the church, but we can keep it there. But if we understand that something happened and we can recover it, that is when we delete. But as an administrator, you can send him to a table called members_stopped. We have a table there. You can transfer the name into that table and clear it. Are you getting me? We have a table that is stopped. So for the moment, let's validate. Let's activate. Because those who are stopped, your members that have stopped, they are still your members, but they stopped. The members that have died, they are your members, but they are dead. It's not your members. If it's not members, why Bishop will mention even those who have died? Are you getting me? That we want to honor them. Do you understand that those who have done something good and they have died, it's good to even honor their family or something like that, mention their name. It means that they are still our members. It's just like a team war dividers. Are you getting me? They are just in the other world. We are in this world. They are our members. When we come from somewhere, we are going somewhere. All in all of us will go there. You understand? So they are our members. So the city is Glory. So I select Glory City and click activate. It's gone. Because all the people I type, they are all one city. I get it. Sometimes it can come from different places. So when you select city, all the people from that city are activated at once. I get it. Because we activate by city. The parcel are activated by city. First, we make it activate by family. But it looks like it's plenty for them. Again, the families are many, so we make it, if they want it to be by family, they can do by family. So we activate by what? City. If anybody say, I want to activate by family, we just enable the option family. So they can just activate by family. Or because city means the pastor wants that all the people in the city should be ready before you activate. That's it. Hmm? What? Yeah, but you can say activate by zone, but zone is too big. So we limit to the family for the moment. Even city is big. Sometimes we can decide that we want a family wise or this thing. So normally we can do activation by what? Just by name, by member. But because the work is too much for the pastors, we put family first. Still is too much. So we put city. So it's not compulsory that activation can be by city. The option we enable here is only city. We can enable by member so that you only activate only the member. It will be the same process when you select a member when it's activated. It's okay. Now, so what did we do? We have done what? Registration, validation, activation. So what is left? Acceptance. So we go back to the steward. This one, the way he's making it, it will spoil our this thing. When you hear the thing, it will make it shh. Can you put it off? It will spoil the thing's sound. Okay. Now let's. I've done it before we are talking about it. Now let's see how to accept. When you activate, when the pastor activates, it means that he has completed your membership class. So actually, he's a member of your church, but you need to be activated to go to the database, membership database. We have seen it before. We say that we have about JP users underscore BT and members. So it goes to that place. So when you go to members database, you are a member, but you are not yet in a particular family. That's what we assume. You know, some people come here and not the family brought them. They come to church and they have completed membership class. Which family would they go? Do you understand? So it's now that we want to accept them into a family. In normal thing, they go there by family. Are you getting me? They go there normally by family. But it's not necessarily that family that brought him. Are you getting me? We can decide at this point that we want to actively accept this member into a different family. Are you getting me? We can still say that. But the most important thing is that we should accept him into the family. Because the process normally is that a steward enter into his family. That is the temporary area of the family. That is the registration. First timers membership. They validate, they activate, and acceptance is just to honor him. Do you understand? That a new member, we want to make it an event that he has been accepted. And when you are accepted, this will help to generate the membership certificate. So we go to, let me go to steward page. For pastor, you have acceptance there, but I don't want to use. So I connect again to steward. So you click. The steward has registered someone before, but now you see acceptance is there. So we click acceptance. I fill my family with name that I don't know. So I have to delete them later. You see, Dana has come. Roger has come to our family, but they were not there before. Can you see them? They were not, it's just a fictitious name. They are not any member of this church. But because of learning purpose, I tagged them into our family, and they are there. But if you check at the end here, this place is empty. Some people have yes, 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 but they don't have yes. Accepted, yes or no. You see? So they were not accepted. They were in our family, but not accepted. If I click this, so we now say yes. Let's say yes for them. So what we say accept. Just click accept. Don't tell us a bit slow. Accept, and you say yes. And you click accept again. No is there. But we also have another one there. We have back to M class. Something happened, you say you should go to membership class. Huh? You understand?
What would be the possible?
Maybe there's a mistake. They have not finished. Huh? They have not finished or something happened and you have to go back. Okay. But it's already here. So we won't take him out. But we just put this one there so that we know that the member is still in a membership class. And we also have pending. So this one is already, let me take another one. So you select yes and click accept. And then you are able to have accepted a member. That is, or let's do that so that you can accept at least one member. So let's take this one. Okay, so yes is already there. I don't need to do anything. I'll just select yes. Accept yes. So that we can see yes on the other side. This process is not yet taught. None of you know about that. All you know is that you register a member or you validate. Okay, but it is done only at the stewards level. The steward will do that. There's not anything. Even if you don't do that, you are still a member of the family. Are you getting? But it's good to do that to be sure that you have finalized the process. So this is how we accept member. We accept Dinah. That is whether yes is there. You see now. So Dinah is accepted. So while this one is just like, this one is not the main thing. What is important is that you should make it like a new member has been, let the member knows that now I've finished a course and I'm graduating. Huh? Are you getting me? And I'm graduating to be a full member of this church. That is the point. Now, this may not be necessary, but because if that thing happens, there must be something that shows that they have moved from one level to another. That's why we put yes there. You understand me? So now, what are the four processes? What are the processes? The process one, because certificate is not at your level at all. I get it, not administrator, it's for office. Do you understand? It's the office that will, when this one happens, there's a Jethro app, a secretary or whatever, they will process the certificate of the people who are accepted. I get it. So you can write maybe an SQL code to find those who are accepted. It's there. If you go to a table, you say somewhere yes, 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 note that column is this one. Huh? When you say select all from this, you see some place will show yes, yes. Are you getting it? Know that column is this one we are talking about, because the column there are not exactly what you are saying here. They are something different there, but sometimes it's different here. So that is how you do the 4 processes. So, any question about the 4 processes? It will not even come here. You can't see it. How can you say? Huh? Yeah. It's your menu. When you open, you see. You'll see. You'll see. It's only when the pastor activated. When you see, you don't even need to know whether they are activated or not. Those you see when you open, they need to be activated. Because if you come there, it means that it has been activated. Because activation brings it to you. You know, you tell the member first. Some people tell their member and they say, oh, I've told the member, I can't find it here. How can you find it? Huh? You have to go through all this process before you find it. You have to be validated, activated before you find it. So you don't need to be saying anything. Just tell your shepherd to validate. Then your shepherd will tell the pastor to activate when the time is. But sometimes it's an old member, so the pastor can activate on the spot. Do you understand? Like all of you, we are just activated on the spot. We didn't wait for that. You were here before the software was introduced. So it means that you don't need to pass through what? All the process. As soon as you type it, they validate, they activate, they accept on the same day. Okay, so we have finished that process. That's what we call the membership process of Jethro app. Now we are going to move to the next one. That is the reporting. Are you getting it? So after this one is the main thing that you need to do. And every day this thing is happening. So every shepherd must be checking whether there's something to validate. Every steward must, because steward will enter. Pastor also must be checking whether there's something to activate. So you are representing your zone. You are also, if you are a steward here, then you are also like a Jethro pastor. Because you have to alert your pastor that there are some people to activate. Have they completed? Okay, you represent zone, so you have to check. You have to ask. Your pastors are busy for spiritual thing, and you are busy for IT thing. Are you getting it? So you have to tell them, oh, it looks like there are some members that we need to activate. Now, you can go and find out whether they are still in the membership class. If they are still there, if not finished, then you wait. Those who have completed, you do. I'll post the new members that have finished. They've sent it to me. That's all. They said, oh. So there are some members that they did not put anything there. They put their number only. So you go and write SQL code and find the which zone they belong to. But sometimes you may not. You just type the name on top there. You know, 5 members. You type the name, then the zone will come. I'll show you right now. Let's connect first. So what are we going to do now? Stewards, right? Yes, stewards make the report. Today my steward didn't come, so I'm going to make a report. I'm doing my report already. This is for my city. I'm talking about the report for this week, which you must do if you are steward here. So careful, I'm the best. Because we belong to the same this thing. So I'm doing for Josephine right now. The report. So this one is not just learning, but it is real. When I'm doing it, is the report indeed. similar. But in the initial stage, when they still separate the registration and the foundation, and they were the one doing it. And doing that, the member's name has been put in different families. Let them delete. And you tap here. Tell them to delete. You know, the simple process of doing the thing that let's just say, please, or we go to that place and remove all those members. Then you come and enter your member. That's the easiest way of doing it. Because doing transfer and set and delete activity will be too much. You can do your own there. Just do register. Make sure you get your number correct. If they have more members disturbing them there, let them delete. Why do they want to keep it? Are you getting? Your number is there, it's not your member. Remove it. The one in charge of that particular zone, maybe you're not in the same listen. You tell me, if you are administrator, please remove some number name in that place. It's not supposed to be there. I'm registering them in my family. Are you getting? So remove them from there. So now I said today we met in a family. When we met, before we closed, I asked, hey, who are absent? I said, who are absent today? They said, Josephine is absent, and then that Kofi is absent. Josephine told me last Friday that they are going for camp, youth camp, and she was asking permission. So what do? I click Stewards report, and I select a name, Josephine. So this one is the other reason, because that reason was not provided. We have so many reasons here. We have none, sick, hospitalized, traveled, bereaved, cannot be reached, other reason. So this one, we don't know about that. They will be going for camp. Otherwise, we would have provided the youth camp, but we don't have. So now I will select other reason, and then put here, Josephine ask permission for youth camp. And yeah, no reason. So I click add. So that one is done. You see, it's there now. He has permission for youth camp. Now formally, we have work study and preview. And now we have a lot of there. We have family meeting. You know, we come and we don't do anything. We don't do any work study. So select family meeting. Now we also have work study. We have work preview. We have seminar meeting. We are planning to do seminar. You know, this thing is based on other places where they use similar structure. Now we have breakfast outreach. Breakfast that you meet and just eat and go. Or you don't do that. It's possible. You can just meet. You just want to eat. Oh? And you invite some people. Breakfast outreach means we call people that will have a breakfast to eat. So when you tell someone, oh, I have a breakfast to eat, they say, I'm inviting you. He's not a Christian. Then he comes. In that breakfast, you appoint somebody to give a life testimony about how Jesus is good, and ask people to give their life to Christ. Then, after finishing eating, they hear the word and they give their life to Christ. That's what they call breakfast outreach. Now, we also have fire team outreach. Fire team outreach is what? You can be 1 or 2, 3, and you want to go for outreach from your family. Fire team, Jesus introduced it first by sending them 2 by 2. Fire team is 2. We start from 2. Are you getting? When you are 2, you are a fire team. Now, it can be 3. It can be 4. If it's 5, we are already reaching family, because family is 10 by Jethro. Huh? Are you getting? If you get 50%, I think you pass. Oh? And so if it's 5, we can say that we are reaching a family. But the moment it's less than 5, we can still consider it as a fire team outreach. So if you go for outreach and you are not up to 5, it's not a family outreach. It's a fire team outreach. And then Jesus said 2 by 2. Why do we go 2 by 2? It's because one will be praying in spirit when one is talking. When you go and your other one is preaching and you are discussing how Asamoah Gyan scored a penalty. So at the end of the day, you did nothing. Because when he's is talking, you will be praying. Because somebody who have not given his life for so many years, there must be something wrong. He has been bound. And Jesus said, how can you go to a strong man's house without binding him first? So, fire team outreach means that you go there too. And when he's talking, and you are praying that devil, you are binding it, so that he can receive it on good ground. You will see by the end, you finish and ask, will you give your life to Christ? You will say yes. Because he will not even know why he say yes. He would have given your life to Christ. Why did I do that? And he's finished. So it's good to go for outreach. We have what? Chapter family outreach, that's the family we are having there. That a family can go for outreach. Are you getting it? You can decide to go for outreach. We also have what? City outreach. The whole city can go for outreach. We have the zonal outreach. The whole zone can decide for outreach. And we have the branch. The whole church can go for outreach. We also have what? National evangelism. That the whole branches of the whole church in the nation can also decide to do a very big crusade. Are you getting it? So if you follow very well, so all these things, the stewards must be there to score how many people come from the family for each of the outreach. Can you see that? Isn't that nice? So when we go for outreach, the steward is supposed to come for the outreach all the time, so that he can take number of his family, how many came for each of this. But if you don't go, if you yourself didn't go, how can you do it? Huh? See, so there's another one who is absent. Who is that? We said Elder Kofi, Richard Kofi. Okay. Okay. For the moment, I've not received anything from him. So I've not done the follow-up yet. Do you understand? I will say yet to call. I will report later. Because they will get the report right now. Are you getting it? So it's good that I write something there, and they know that I'll call. So when I call, I can come and change it. Huh? I can do it. And type again. Are you getting it? Do you understand? I can come and delete it and type again. When I call. Last week, also, she came, but she didn't do it. So I did her place. Because the timing that they are asking the report is too distant. The others have submitted already, and her own was delayed. So I called someone, the person didn't pick. So I said, cannot be reached. The next few minutes, the person called me. Huh? I submitted the report, the person called, I got your missed call. Oh, I traveled, and that's why I'll come this week. She came today. Do you understand? So I have to quickly remove it and put it again. I travel. I will be in next week. You see the thing? So you make the report like this, and this one is done. So once we have two people, so I will now put next. When I click next, you see my distance square. I have 15 members because I added 20. Don't you see? Yes, I added people that, because I'm teaching you, I added people who doesn't belong. So, for the purpose of this, let me just use it like this. Observation. What did we discuss today? We discussed about, okay, for those of you who are here, discuss how to go to the funeral of our steward father. Our steward father, Kelvin Boama. Okay, you are here now. Our brother lost the father. So this is not fiction. This one is real. Eh? do you understand it? It's a reality. Eh? He lost the father, and we discussed today how we can go there. It's Koforidia, 24th February. And here too is another team that we can build. Oh? Yes. It's an administrative team. So we should plan how we will do something. In our city, we say anybody can pay something from 20 above. Do you understand me? So here too is possible. If we can build, you know, what we are doing in Winners now is network. You know that? It's not the same thing that we were before. Because for me, I have been in church since 97. When I come to church, before the church closed, I'm already out. You don't see me. Huh? Do you understand what I'm saying? If I come to a office, I don't. But things have changed. You see, things have changed now. We know each other. And then don't you see? With the Jethro app introduced, everybody will know each other. We know what is happening. You can pay. You know what is going on now. In fact, that is the wonderful church. Are you getting me? Things have. We have what they call a structure from family level, family icon. Is it not like that? Is it not true? You see, it's a very wonderful. I don't think we can find it anywhere. So those who pass through problems, they are the people God give knowledge to. Do you know that? And if you go through things, God will, because this one, the way we are doing, and then Bishop will teach for some time, and allow all the stewards to teach. Do you understand me? It's not good. So that means we have over 300 pastors. Because all the stewards are like pastors. They are like pastors. Bishop allowed them to teach. And then when we do the fasting, the shepherds are the one doing the opening prayer. The pastor relax. Don't you see the way they are doing things? So it's the Jethro App introduction has brought, it's like a training church, a teaching church. So everyone, so each one of you here now, if they send you someplace, you can even manage a big church. You know that? Oh, yes, of course. If they take you now and send you somewhere, you can manage a very big church because you have been trained in the word. And Bishop allow you to do. Now, sometimes not you are good before they allow you. No, they just allow you to do. You are making mistakes, and they keep allowing you. You are making mistakes. I used to do that in my school. When somebody finished like this and like this, I allow them to teach. Sometimes they say, "Sir, no, we want you." I say, "I'm there. If it's not good, I'll come and add." Are you getting it? After 1 month, 2 months, they will say, "Sir, we don't want you again." Do you know the reason? Because they've seen something different again. And they say, "No, we don't want you. You can go." Because they now know that this one is good. Because that is the way of what? Building a disciple. You know, the person is not good initially, and you allow the person to do. That's what Bishop is doing. He's allowing people, you know, like all the things that pastors or do or are correct. No, he knows very well. But that is the only way to train them. I get him. When you start teaching, you can see that he's making correction. Or you don't see? He's making correction. If he's Jethro, he's making correction so that the pastor will also learn that, oh, that thing I do is not correct. Next time I won't do it. So this is how it is. Because you see that his teaching is focused on teaching, building you up. Like one of the principles is that where you are, do what you can, where you are with what you have. You know that? I guess that is the main thing about our bishop. Do what you can, where you are with what you have. You understand? So if you see it very well, it's building you up to go. So everybody in this ministry definitely will be that type. Yes. So if you are teaching and it's different, it's not following the put you out. So now, challenges. What are the challenges? Some people say that. Oh, sorry. Okay. So we are making contributions to go there. So if 24th of February. So if you have your contribution, you bring it to me. I'm not going to chop it. Actually, I'm going to add it to it. No, the way you are laughing is as if that's why we have done that. Yeah, we have done that. No, what we are doing is that we are talking about. It's not the church has built up. No church never said we should contribute. Church has never said we should. Church is going to sponsor everything, but because of it's our brother, we know him for years. So we said that not anybody can do anything. You can do anything. You can decide not to contribute. Nobody is asking you. Do you understand the thing now? So, but we are saying that if you belong to a group of people, build that family. For example, today I was saying that if something happening, we don't know your house. Is it good? So we should know everybody's house. Again, I was saying that every member of the city should try to know. But somebody disappear like this, and they say that, what happened? No, and we don't know. What does it say? Hey, finished. No, we need to know everyone's house, where you stay. That is the purpose of the Jethro. And that helps to build that family bond. Now, challenges. Tigo SIM is not working. Okay. Recommendation. Somebody recommended that they should allow us to use our own numbers to make calls or shift to post a prepaid. That is prepaid with the same scheme. You know what they are saying? We pay 3 CD. We buy our 3 CD and put in on the Tigo so that it will be. We won't give the money in advance for them and the thing will not work. Do you understand the thing now? Every month I buy 3 CD and put it there. So that is it. I click like this, update. So this is it. You can see now. So the report is submitted. Is it difficult to submit the report? Is it difficult? So why people are not doing it? Now, after the next.
Those 3 fields, when you don't fill it, then you see the report. It doesn't move. Observation, changes, and then you come to the last one. You don't put anything here. It doesn't move.
So just put none. Just say none. Okay, now let's move to. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's validate. So you will validate the report, right? A shepherd will validate the report. So let me enter as a shepherd. After you enter, the shepherd will validate. Today we came here very late, right? I'm sure you have eaten before you come. That's why you came late. You have not eaten. Thank God we are on fasting. I thank God for that. So people not tell them they are hungry. So once we are on fasting, there's no issue. So, Shepherd Connect, you click check ERP. Anytime you connect, just click check ERP. You see report validation. So you just click report validation and go to the last end here. Go to the last. Now, when you click report validation, click it twice. When you click first time, click the second time again. Tell the people like this. It will show you the number of members. Total member 37. Total absentees is 2. Now, right now it's 2. Your Kelvin will send his report. He's in my city. And the Phoebe will send a report. Then I will see the total absentees will show it to be more than that. And the number of reports submitted is just 1 because I submitted only. Let's say my steward submitted only. So I check that. And then I come to the last end there. You see, validate is there. And we have validate. One validate. You see, it's empty. So when you say validate finish, something will come there. Let me go now. Click validate. And you select here, we have pending validate. There are 2 things, pending or validate. Are you getting me? So you select one of them. If you are not sure that the report, you're not satisfied with the report, you say pending and tell your steward, please check again. I'm not happy with what you have done. Don't make boss because some of you want to show that you are one validated. So you will say pending. I get it, we say pending, but most of the time just say validate, and that's all. Now here now, my this thing is 13 is showing there, so I'm going to put 10 out is 7 because there was an error there, right?
Oh, you can correct it.
I can correct it. Correct. So I correct it. I put 7 and 2. So I correct the issue that was there. Even that is the purpose of the shepherd. The shepherd, instead of saying pending, you can just do the correction. You see everything is there. You say there's an error, grammatical error or whatever, you just correct it before you update. So I've corrected it and then I click. Because it was 13 members, while it was 7, because I added some people. So I just do like this and then now I update. And the thing will be correct. That's why they allow shepherd to what? To correct. And that is all the job we want the shepherd to do. They are not doing it. Good. Now what is remaining? We have, I was saying that if you give you this thing, this one, my member name. View members there give you a lot of information that you can search instead of writing SQL code. Are you getting it? Let's say I want to get people that start with K. I'll just write KA. Kelvin will come by honest. At the beginning, name of the members. Name definitely. So because they send you now members that have been activated and they say you should accept them or activate them. I get it. You have Kelvin Boaman, we have Kelvin Mark Ado, Kendrick Odo, Kennedy Kofi. You see now, those who start with K. Can you see that? Correct. So it's not a difficult thing. If you have, you just want to know. So here now I know the word. The zone is 5, zone 5, zone 2, zone 6. Can you see that? So when I give you the name, I send the name, each one of you will do what? You will do that and search and write behind it. Zone 1. The one that falls under your zone, you treat it. Huh? Because some they didn't put the zone. Are you getting it? They just put the name and the phone number. That one means I have to write select all telephone call this. It will take me too much time for each one of all those people. But I can just come here and search. Now, we have another, you can, if you know the username of the person, you can type here. The username, that is the AV something something or S8 you type. That one, I mean, you have to type everything correct. But the other one, you can just type the beginning letter. And then you get all and know your listing. We also have by family. I can get, sometimes I told you give me your family name. Okay, because I want to search. I just see your family is exploit. So if I click family, exploit, it will ask me, that's the city exploit. And the family, there are 3 family under. I select city exploit, I say Emmanuel, Glorious, and Manito. So I select Emmanuel under exploit. So I can see the people. Augustino Furi JP. He's one of my students in 2001. You see? Yes. So, you see? And that is it. You can find it and you know what you want to do with it. You see the way it's so simple. You have the thing, you are not using it. I don't get you. Any menu I leave for you is because you will use. Are you getting me? You have not gone through this for a long time, right? That is exactly how we are. God has put food beside us, but we don't want to eat it. Oh yes. Yeah. Human beings like that. And we can even tell God, please give me food. You see that the thing is there. Huh? Right? I've given to you long time. Huh? Why you don't want to eat? So that send your prophet to come and tell me that the food is there. Because I was sending. Huh? You see? Because it's already there. And yet you don't want it. You don't want it. And some of the food is in the midst of your enemies. Because that's why they say that a table in what? In the midst of your enemies. And you don't want to be where there is trouble. In the midst of trouble, you can find your meat. Is it not like that? Hmm? But if you do like this, you can count because the number is not counted. If you want to count, you better use SQL. Now, I can get my city. I select the city and then it will not ask me family again. Hmm? You see now, it will give me a whole city, all the people in the city, all of them. Now, you can also get by what? So you have a lot there. By branch, by institution, by zone. By branch means, as you know, like you have created plenty branch now. If we put all the business chapel branch in this place, we can select by branch. But we have Avino only here now. We put all of them and we select by branch. By institution, it means that by business chapel Ghana, whether in Ghana or abroad, all of them will come. Let's say Church of Pentecost or assemblies, wherever it is, the branches, you will get all. That is why when we connect, I say when you are a shepherd, you connect, click, you see your total number. If you are a pastor, you connect, you double click that place, you will see your total numbers. I get the total numbers for all comes always when you are registered. You see on top there. Yeah, what counting do you want to do? Counting by city. Yes, a shepherd automatically when you collect the total number of the city. Are you getting me? That is what I just did, and I said that I think I'm still a shepherd, right? And like, is it shepherd connection? Yeah, it's a shepherd connection. Report validation. Total members 37. Are you getting me? If a pastor connects and click pastor's report, it will show the total number.
So the total number is the number of holders
in the city. Do you get me? So when the pastor also connects, let's connect by pastor so that you can see. I say always double click 2 times, 1 in second, right? So I'm connecting to one of the pastors. Say you are fasting. So there's no big deal. We almost finished, so you just give me some few minutes. So click pastor's report. You see pastor's report. Now I click first, I click the second time. You have 163. So you know as zone 5 is 163. As I click the first time and the second time, the total.
But this one, this number should be because not all the
Yeah. So if you, you know 63, because I added, it's generally 59 or 60. Because the 3 people I added right now. I added 4 people, because generally it's 59 I used to see. The 4 people I added, they are not even winners. I don't even know them. In fact, I just created the names and type. That is it. And then all of that is showing you total. So you have your total. So, but here, we are just seeing it. We are displaying it. Are you getting it? But we don't need to count there. Because the count is already showing when you connect. Are you getting it? Good. Because what are you interested in the count of somebody? Everybody connect. The steward, when you connect, you know your number already. It's few, right? Shepherd connect, you know his number. Pastor connect, you know his number. Branch pastor connect, you know his number. Are you getting it? Bishop connect, you know the total number of the church. Do you understand? Good. Now let's move to, you can also check the stewards. You know, when they click first, we have the stewards. So when you click here, you don't check anything. All the stewards that is in Windows, all of them will come here, including you, if you are a steward. This is what we created first, right? You have the steward list, and I send it to you with your username and password. You remember? Good. So this is where I copy from. I copy from here. These are the shepherds. If they ask you to, then you just copy. You just copy like this. When you get it, just copy like this. You see? I copy, right? It's a very simple way of doing it. When I go to Excel, Microsoft Excel, right? And then I paste. Oh, I copy blank again. See the way software can understand. I come there and copy blank. So I come to Excel. Let me do it so that those who are online can see. Paste. Paste, right? Paste option. Yeah. But if I use Control V now, the people don't know what I did. Those who are watching. So paste. Are you getting it? If like you are going to. So I paste it and they take out. So you can prepare it. Do you understand? You see everything is there, it has come. So you can work on it. You know Excel, you just do the way you arrange your things. Or you don't know how to use Excel. Oh, the moment you do this, you enlarge it to show. Okay, so that's it. Those things, I'm not here to teach you. Yes, sir. No. No, if you want to do, you go to school to learn Microsoft Excel. I'm here for database. Now we have supervisors, pastors, and co. Yes, so for them, you don't need. So they are there. You can check. Now, edit. Edit, just use this one. Update member. That is when you type something and you want to, you say use edit. You type a member. Are you getting it? And there's a problem. I said you can delete it, but you can use update in order to do what? To edit, to change the name. Then the name is, before they validate you, before validate your member, you can make it by the easier ways to delete it. There are things here that you don't need it now. This is membership class. Are you getting it? As we keep moving, we have not introduced this one. You can create a new class from the members. Select first timers to membership class. Like the first timer, a class is created. Like the class, this class is created. If all of you are in the system, I select it here and select you. Are you getting it? So you are in the class, in the system. So that when the person, when you come, we can pick your absenteeism. I can pick that you are absent or not. I can, this admission, is not yet introduced. We are using it now. We are using the membership class just like that. But when we introduce it, you will. So it's like managing the membership class as a school. Are you getting me? As a classroom. Do you get me? So we select first timers, and then we have attendance register. Attendance register, like if I select those people that are in the class, it will show here. Do you understand me? So I click mark. That means I mark him that he has come. Mark his attendance sheet. Do you understand? So you just click mark and here you select, first of all you select the class. These are the classrooms. We have A02, that's the room that are there. We have A03, A03. We remember those two. Huh? Wait. A03, A04. We have science lab. We have science lab unless we have medical unit. Are you getting it? So where is that class? Do you understand? Where is the class? And then you mark. You mark. So every time they introduce it, we are a team. We can do it live like this. Huh? You can just learn it. There's not anything difficult for that. So this is the most important thing. And these are the reports. The report after test day, it disappeared. You know that the report I created for family meeting, it disappeared. You can't find it again. This is where it comes. So if you want a report of last year, all of them, they are here. I told you JP report with S, right? And this is JP report with S. You can use what? Your SQL code, you know about that one. But those who want just to see by city, by family, do you understand? They want to see their report by city, by family. But if you use your SQL, it's precisely, you can see between this date and this date. Or, but if you want to get a report by family, just select here. Which city? Is there a city I created? I say, that's a beauty. Do you have beauty people here? Beauty, okay. There is just coincidence, right? When you get beauty, let me see their report. See what they are saying. So that you can validate them. Huh? Or we put them on pending. Huh? What is going on? Okay. Beauty City now is a family. We have a 3 family. Abigail, Bethany, and Joshua. Which one will I select? Huh? Those 3, okay. Okay. So these are your reports. So even if, hey, these people can write. Anyway, the point I would say is that when it's a problem. Let them not write, let them not read there. But they can write. Yay! Not journalists. Okay, journalists are here. Eh? Eh? They can write. Yay! Yeah! Yeah! Can you see the report? I tell you. This is a report. This one is the report. It's a correct report. So you can see it's nice. Eh? You read here, you can see everything. So basically, this is if you want to, you want what will Jethro app. If you want to use it, the most important thing is that you need to know the membership process, because these are the day-to-day things. There are many other things there. The membership process, which is register a first timer, validate the first timer, and do what? Activate it, accept it. Then, that is when you finish with the membership process. And you know, before you do any of them, what you should do. You know them, right? Now, the next one is that reporting, which are the most important thing. Reporting that all the activities that will be done. We have family meeting, you can meet after a church, before a family meeting. You can also meet for a work study. You can also meet for outreach. And we have various types of outreach there. We have fire team outreach, family outreach, city outreach, zonal outreach, brand outreach, and then national crusade. Very soon will be national crusade, right? And as divine will be the one that will preach. Huh? You see? So, of course, if they do crusade here, some of you will raise dead. You know that? No, you don't. It's just like when you go there, you won't do anything. You can pray like this. You just pray, and will come and you say, hey, you yourself will be afraid. Because God has given you. You have not gone there. That's why it has not happened. Okay, you have not gone there. So there will be all that. There will be all that. So it's all this one. So when we have seen the reporting, all the type of report, how you do report, you validate, and we have another one again. You can edit, you have membership card, you have your report, and all that. If you do this very well, you understand this very well, with what we have taught you, how to configure Jethro app, how to do data, check ERP, data mining, all these things, then you'll be okay. And not only you will use it for check, but international firms will look for you. Thank you.